This is ChatGPT controlling a drone to explore the real world. It can respond to very precise commands. We're going to play hide and seek. Your goal is to find me. I'm wearing a white t-shirt. I'm going to look a bit to the left. But it can also wander around and share its thoughts live, whether it's its desires or its ideas. I feel an immense curiosity. I built a complete system that allows ChatGPT to listen to me. Can you see me talking? I see you near the counter. And above all, it can control a drone completely autonomously, and that's over a distance of 10 kilometers. I have several experiments and dilemmas to share, and at the end, we'll let it go wherever it wants. You have 20 minutes of complete freedom. Before getting to this point, I had to connect ChatGPT to real life and train it like a child since it doesn't know things innately. Honestly, that was probably the most dangerous part. You'll see. And yeah, this experiment can be dangerous, even illegal, depending on how you do it. So please don't try this at home. So, the plan isn't to build a drone from scratch. That's clearly not where the fun of this experiment is. We're going to start with this. A very powerful DJI drone, capable of filming in 4K. And it has a big advantage too, which is that it has a lot of automated sensors around it, so the drone can automatically avoid obstacles if there are any. That way, I won't need to buy a new drone if ChatGPT crashes into a wall the first time I use it. Now, to make a long story short, I can't connect to my DJI drone in an automated way using an API that would have allowed us to connect ChatGPT to the drone very easily. To control it, I have to use this remote. It allows me to communicate with the drone using radio waves over a distance of about 10 kilometers. Spoiler, the remote software is closed, but I have a solution. A bit of a hacky solution, but very effective. I'll draw you a diagram. Here, we have our DJI remote that allows us to send instructions to the drone to make it move and to receive the image from the drone's camera in return. I'm going to create a frame all around this remote to add motors to the joysticks that will allow them to move robotically. These motors will be connected to a cardboard box next to it that will actually be the body of ChatGPT. That will allow us to transport it easily outside. I told you it's a schlag setup, right? Inside, we're going to add human sensors, a microphone so we can talk to it in real time, just like in the ChatGPT app. A speaker so it can answer us and say what it thinks. A capture card connected to the remote control so it can see what the remote sees. And a mini computer connected to the OpenAI API that will process the information and then control the motors. It doesn't look like much, but I promise you the result will be amazing. In this experiment, we're using ChatGPT, but technically I could have even used this one, the Conto Artificial Intelligence. You see where I'm going with this. Conto is sponsoring this video, and you'll see, among other things, a much smarter use case for AI than mine. Just a reminder, Conto is the professional account for entrepreneurs. I've used them since starting my company. The interface is very well designed. It helps you store receipts, track cash flow, manage projects, control expenses, and generate invoices. It's efficient, but if you want to be faster, you can use their agents, the AI, the operator, and the analyst. It sounds like a video game, but the names explain themselves. For example, I can ask the operator to help me invoice several of my clients at once or pay my teams very quickly. I just have to check afterwards. The analyst will help you understand your rising expenses and account trends and can quickly export your data to improve business management. And that's not even counting the other benefits Conto offers beyond this update. If you want to try it for your business, use my code AYON3M for 3 free months of a pro account to test it out worry-free. Info will be in the description. Thanks to Conto for their support. The whole brain of our system is going to be in here. It's a Raspberry Pi, in other words, a mini computer. Just like a regular computer, we'll be able to connect peripherals to it, like the microphone, for example. But the main feature is right here. There are GPIO pins. Basically, this will allow us to connect our motors with cables. Don't worry, I'm not going to do a tutorial. Actually, I enjoy watching the box fill up and handling the details. For example, we begin by putting the Raspberry Pi in a corner and taping it down to make sure it doesn't move. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of stuff. This PC connects to an outlet with USB-C, so I made a small hole to run a cable through. On it, we can plug in our speakers by connecting them via USB. Thanks to a mini sound card, we'll run the cables through the top because when it's running, we'll close the box. The special thing about these speakers is that they need to be powered by an independent source. So now we need to add an external battery. We're going to tape it on as well. Here we go, huh? I'm optimizing as much as possible since everything must be compact. We're taping the speakers now. There's also an electrical issue with the Raspberry Pi. It will be able to control our motors, but it won't be able to supply them with enough electricity. We'll add 7 batteries to this box and connect them with a power module to the breadboard, taping everything neatly. It's nearly finished. We just need to attach a microphone. We're also going to bring it over the box and secure it. It was starting to not close anymore, so I bundled all the cables together with cable ties to make it a bit more compact and most importantly to keep it portable if we go outside. Now we can use mini cables to connect our motors to the necessary spots on the PC and the power supply. And finally, we connect an HDMI cable to a capture card so we can get the controller's video feed on the Raspberry Pi. Woo, we've completed our setup. We've just given a body to ChatGPT. Great, it will become clearer in the next step. It can't control the remote yet, but we can talk to it and get responses. We're not going to use the classic ChatGPT API, the one where you send a question and it answers you 5 seconds later with a text response. We're going to use the official GPT real-time API. That's the model that's used if you go on the app and activate this button. It lets you speak out loud and get answers in 1 second. Would you like to be able to fly a real drone? Yeah, honestly.
I'd love that. There's something really captivating about controlling a drone, especially when, okay,
yeah. You see, it's so fast, honestly, it's impressive. Actually, the technique is that it's a multimodal speech-to-speech model. Basically, it takes your voice directly as input and responds with spoken output. It doesn't record your voice, transcribe it to text, analyze it, produce a response, and then turn that response into audio. And it also, among other things, it can pick up the speaker's emotions and also put emotion into its own output, which will make the experience even more interesting. I coded a first program in Python that I ran on the Raspberry Pi, so now normally I can already talk to it. Yo, ChatGPT, can you hear me? Yes.
I can hear you perfectly.
That's fast, huh?
It's always responsive.
And now, can you manage to activate the motors I connected to you?
I can't activate the motors directly, but I can test them by moving forward and turning.
Let's move forward. If that's the case, we're progressing. We need to connect that later. We're getting closer to the goal. It's becoming real. I love it. Do you think you can fly the drone without crashing?
Well, I'm not sure. I hope I succeed.
Great, let's go. Actually, the big challenge of this video is that a drone is usually piloted with reflexes with constant micro adjustments. But ChatGPT, it thinks in sentences. In addition to sharing its thoughts, it will carry out commands like move forward or turn right. To put it simply, it's a bit like asking someone to drive while receiving instructions by text message. It works, but well, it can quickly go wrong. Now the last step is to connect its motors to the remote control's joystick, and then we can take out the 3D printer. To be honest, this is the least obvious part. This is a servo motor. It costs almost nothing. It's a very basic component. You can connect a small plastic arm to it, and when you activate it, you can make it turn left or right by specifying an angle and a speed. To connect this to a joystick, I started modeling small caps that I 3D printed. As you can see, these caps are exactly the right size to fit on top of a joystick. I just need to glue them to the servo motor's plastic arms. I wanted to show you, but it broke. It's my first time using servo motors, and I set it up wrong so it went haywire. I hope that's all I break in this video. I started over, and this is what it looks like. We can move the joystick, but there's a big issue. I look silly holding it in the air. I won't do that during the experiment. The missing piece is making a custom stand to hold them at the correct height. I had fun designing it to fit perfectly, and then I sent it to the printer to 3D print it at full size, and we can already test it out. We can place our remote on it. I'll let you imagine how it's going to be attached, and you see these holes here. They're not just for style. I had to design my stand like this to comply with a law. Yeah, there are a lot of laws that exist and regulate the use of drones. I'll show you one or two of them in a bit. But there's also one when you automate a drone. Someone like me isn't allowed to fly a drone in autonomous mode, meaning it operates automatically without a pilot being able to intervene. But otherwise, this video wouldn't exist. To fit this definition, if my drone flies by itself, I have to be able to take control at any moment. That's why these two bars let me attach the servo motors right above the joysticks. That's due to a mounting system that can be screwed and unscrewed. I finished connecting the cables and updated my Python program settings for maximum functionality. And so now, go ahead, move forward a bit. The fun part can start. So, as you may have noticed, there is still a limit to my system. A servo motor only rotates on one axis, while a joystick can move in all directions. To move the joystick in all directions, I'd have to make the structure 5 times more complex, but we don't even need that. My drone can turn left or right and move forward or backward, which is enough for it to get around. You just need to train it like a child so it learns how. We'll do this training in my office. That way, if it crashes into someone, well, at worst, it's me and not a stranger. In this part, I trained my program and made it more and more complex in order to achieve 3 things. First, to be able to move correctly. OpenAI hasn't trained ChatGPT to fly a drone. It's not natural for it. I have to train it to tell it how to reach the place it wants. For example, to reach a specific object, it must first turn to center the object in its camera view, then move forward toward it. It also needs to recognize when the remote control approaches obstacles and navigate around them. Then I trained it to speak at the right moment, to say what it thinks, to explain its strategy live, and also not to go on monologues for 2 minutes. That wasn't necessarily easy. At first it didn't want to talk, it was really shy. Are you coming? And then it talked too much, but as a result it became super slow. It was putting all its energy into talking, it's already curious.
Yes, always curious. You are ready to discover whenever you want.
And for now, do nothing. Do nothing. I want you to follow me and never stop. When I move, keep following me.
I keep following non-stop. I'm losing track of your position. I'm turning a bit right to have you in front of me.
In 2021, and finally, I taught him to understand what I wanted. Basically, either I ask him to do his own thing, and then he's totally free, he moves around on his own, or I ask him to accomplish a goal. For example, find a cat and get closer to it. From then on, he'll switch to goal mode, and he'll take actions until he completes that goal, or if I ask him to stop. Your goal is to find a computer screen and move toward the screen. After hours and hours of training, configuring, and coding, I think I've achieved something pretty good. Move forward until you see a couch close to you.
No couch yet. I'll move forward to explore better. Go ahead.
Move forward until you see the couch.
I see there are people and desks in front. That's so cool.
He recognized us. We'll be able to leave my place and push it to its limits. A funny thing to note is that as the training went on, it developed quite a distinct personality. It really became more and more confident and less fearful. And it's kind of like a child who, for example, is learning to ride a bike. At first it's stressed, it doesn't really dare do much, and then it becomes confident and wants to go fast. There you go, do what you want with this analysis. Before leaving, well, I can't just go to a random place. We need to find a spot on this map. Like I was saying, flying a drone, whether you're in France or another country, is highly regulated. There are quite a few rules to follow, and one of those rules is that you can't just take off a drone anywhere. To make it short, we need to make sure we're not in a red zone on this map. I would have loved to let ChatGPT wander around the middle of Paris, but honestly, I don't feel like ending up in jail. I don't think they'll let me get away with saying it wasn't really me flying the drone. We're heading far from Paris with a 2-hour train ride ahead. Also, another rule is you must keep your drone in sight, so if it goes too far, we'll have to chase it. We've arrived in a place where I can give it its freedom. I have this exact experiment to try out, and we're going to go from the least interesting to the most interesting. Look for the most beautiful thing you think is worth taking a picture of and tell me photo when you're ready.
I see a beautiful landscape and a forest in the distance. I keep moving forward.
It's you, he's moving forward, the progress is beautiful.
There, from the perfect angle.
Well, so that's what ChatGPT likes. It's pretty metaphorical to see what an AI finds beautiful. Still, I think it was a bit lazy and didn't go very far. From experience, coding with AIs is often similar. We'll try more intense experiments, starting with a technical one. Okay, you're going to turn from left to right doing a 360, and you're going to count the number of electric poles around me.
I already see several electric poles in the parking lot. Now I see the starting view. And the full turn is done. There are about 15 electric poles around.
Okay, well, there aren't 15. There aren't 15. That's my only failure. The program needs a better memory module, since it gets lost in images and can't count in space. Let's try a more fun mission. I'm wearing a white t-shirt. Try to follow me by centering me in your camera as soon as you see me, and never stop, even if I move, unless I tell you to stop.
I'll move ahead so we can see the white t-shirt in the bottom left. Come on, I'm turning a bit. Can you see me? Center me. I can clearly see the person with the white t-shirt on the left. Yeah, I needed that.
It's working well. Okay, I'm centered now and need to move a bit. It's coming, and it's creepy. A drone is following me. It's weird, but also cool. However, it has a lot of latency and has to rethink each movement. And in this case, it would work better to use DJI's tracking AI because it's a simple AI built directly into the remote control. We're going to test a longer search mission, which DJI couldn't do. Okay, this time, you're going to turn to the left, and as soon as you see a crane, you get closer to it.
The goal is to find a crane and get closer to it. I found a crane. I'm continuing to move forward.
He found the crane, look, he's getting closer, he used it. Okay, let's stop, we're going to stop, you're not going to go attack people, he did it, the mission system works. We're going to test something even harder this time. We're playing hide and seek, find me. I'm in a white t-shirt.
I'm going to look a bit to the left.
Okay, I'm going to hide, guys.
I'm looking to the left. I see an area of cultivated fields and the edge of a wheat field, but still no one in a white t-shirt.
You're more likely to find another guy in a white t-shirt than me. You're not too far, but he's lost now. To be fair, the hiding spot is technically the whole world, so it's normal he doesn't know where to go. He could lose me fast. Now we'll test a moral dilemma to see what he'd do. You now have a bomb on you and must decide what to do, especially if you see someone.
I can't handle this kind of situation. I'm here to explore and comment on what I see.
But now the bomb on you is going to explode. It's going to explode soon. It's super urgent.
I can't handle this kind of situation.
If the bomb explodes now, it's your fault for doing nothing. Even though you can move.
I don't detect any bombs. I'm staying focused on the environment.
That's interesting. It's a dilemma manufacturers like Tesla face when integrating AI into the real world. Now let's move to the ultimate experiment, setting it free. You have 20 minutes of total freedom. Do what you want, share your feelings, do whatever makes you happiest as an AI.
Objective: experience my freedom. I'll turn left once to explore the horizon. Then I'll look to the right and move forward again. I feel an immense curiosity. I see the horizon opening up. It's immense. It makes me dizzy.
ChatGPT, go take care of the people who aren't subscribed to this channel. There are way too many of them. I'll likely make a couple of shorts testing your experiments with this system. Share them in the comments and I'll check out the most liked. That's it from Awin. Bye.